Welcome everyone to another episode of the Please Do Tell podcast. I am your homegirl Ronnika, and you already know who I'm with.
Hey, hey, what's going on? It's me, Jeffrey. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. So, if you are new here, welcome. We tell stories from the culture, and they're usually themed. So, we're going to get into what we're talking about for this week, but
Actually, I want to stop you for 2 seconds. You know, I'm always going to interject.
Mhm.
It's just so good to see you.
Likewise.
Come on now. Come on now. We got to greet each other. We ain't just jumping into no business.
I
Look,
know.
look, I got to go for a bathroom break or a coffee break, or at
That's
least, look,
true.
even if I'm in church, I got to put my finger up. Come
Okay.
on now. All right. Come on now.
On Monday, we just talked about, we said, what does the finger do? Like, what, who started it? We want to know who started that finger. Because we said, I feel like it draws more attention to the person that's walking out.
Come on
Is
now.
it just for order? So, yeah, we literally talked about that on Monday at work. It was pretty freaking funny. So, that you brought it up, it means that we are on the same page per usual.
Come on now. I'm just wanting to make sure.
Okay, just make it show. Okay, so the last, the last episode, we were talking about the awarenesses for this month. We even introduced a new segment, which is at the playground. Well, it's not new, it's kind of revamped. And boy, was that a good time. And that was a good time. I did be sure I made sure that I tagged Warren in one of the clips. Like you gotta, I don't know if he's even on socials like that, but I did
Ac-
tag him.
Actually, it's funny because I went back and watched it on YouTube maybe a few hours ago, just at random. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that you had tagged me because I think you had tagged me a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And, just because, I can be late to going and check on social media. So,
Hmm.
please charge it to my mind, not my heart. But the thing is here, I saw it and I burst out laughing. Soon as I seen it, and I went right back to the moment because as a kid, I was right back in that moment.
Hmm.
I made
Hmm.
sure that I tagged him. I sent it to him first. I DM'd him first, and then I actually tagged him on it because I was like, man, that's a crazy story. That's a crazy story.
I listened to the rest of the episode yesterday while I was on my break from work, and the fact that you even remembered me getting away with is it kind, is it necessary, is
Necessary.
it true?
True. Come on now. Yeah. Yeah.
I said, damn, he was right
You
there.
catch so much stuff, when you're a kid. So yeah, yeah, you catch so much stuff. So
Uh, so yeah, just I mean, if you have not checked out the last episode, it was a really good one. I mean, all of them are, but that one was pretty good, especially with us talking about some childhood memories. It was pretty freaking priceless. So, we do want to dive into this
hold
month or this
on,
week.
hold on, hold on, hold on, a little more, a little. Look, y'all just don't know. I just like messing with her. I just like messing with her. I just like messing with her. Anyway, it's your turn. It's your turn. I'm just messing with you. I didn't have anything this time.
I don't even know how to get on his nerves because he strives to get on mine. So I sometimes I'm just like, I'll just go with it. Just
Come
forget
on,
it.
come on.
That's how you get in trouble.
It's been a long time.
That's how you get in trouble.
Look, what did Timberland say? It's been a long time. You should have
I'm
left
gonna
it.
have to.
Hey,
Anyway, so this this week we're going to be talking about breast cancer awareness month. October every year recognizes those that have um beat the fight, that are still fighting, and are able to tell those stories. And I am looking forward to diving into some of those because it has impacted quite a few people that are even very close to me that I've been able to interact with on social media. And yeah, so I'll be able to share something that I even saw even today regarding breast cancer. So we're going to dive into that. So it won't be all heavy today, but it will be. We will be shining a light on something that continues to especially impact Black women, and that is breast cancer.
And men.
Yeah,
And
and men. Now we're seeing men as well. So yeah, so it's really whew,
not because
it's
of like a transgender thing or any of
mm-mm,
that,
none of it.
like genetically born men that actually have breast cancer. Like this is,
Mhm.
it's a real thing. So, like, so it's, I'm glad that we wanted today to take the time to talk about it because without a conversation, there's no opportunity for care.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're going to be diving into that today. And then I'm going to share just some stories that I have been able to be a part of in the room and listening to different stories because we have a huge following, and it's a support group here called Strong Women of Faith Breast Cancer Support Group. And two of the women that I know are very near and dear to my heart, but one of them actually grew up with my dad. So I've been able to have a lot of conversations with her regarding
Where's it
breast
located?
cancer. I'm sorry,
Where is it located?
in Benton Harbor, Michigan.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
Thank you for
All right.
pointing that out. Yeah. So we're just
How
gonna
long
dive.
have they been around?
Ooh, it's been, is it 24 years? Don't quote me, but I feel like it's been quite a long time.
She's been a guest, right?
Yes.
She's been a
Yes.
guest. I
Yes.
remember. I remember this
Yes.
is the
Yes.
days before me. But she was definitely a
Yes.
guest. I remember listening to her, and I actually had an opportunity to work with her over 10 years ago. So over a decade ago, I worked with her with some young people during a weekend that she actually puts on every October, and it's probably
Yes.
this
It was
upcoming.
last weekend.
And I
Yes.
remember like over
Yeah.
over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Mrs. Mrs.
Mrs.
Bertha King.
Bertha
Mrs.
Carson
Bertha
King.
King.
She says,
Yes,
don't
yes,
forget
yeah,
Carson.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to
Yes.
make sure I got all of it together.
Thank you for even remembering that and bringing that up. Absolutely. So if you
Oh
want
yeah.
to
Look, I want to
flash
make sure I
that.
got her name right because she's always made sure everything was right. Like she
Hmm.
said, this is not something I'm playing with. I'm focused about it, and I think that our youth need to know about it. And very appreciative because she introduced it basically as somebody that worked with you, and then get an opportunity. So yeah, yep, yep.
Look at you connecting the dots and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I was hold on. Yeah.
All right, let's get to it then. Okay. Are you ready for? We're going to go into a little story time.
Okay.
So, we're each going to share a story about strength, whether it's a family member, a friend, or a listener who inspired us to through their fight with cancer. And yeah, it's even just thinking about our close friend group, like we've seen cancer impact us in that way. And yeah,
which is unique. And what
yeah.
I mean by unique is in from a standpoint of age, I know I don't think, I'm a certain age and I wouldn't think that you are, but we did go to school around the same age and to think
Hmm.
that cancer can impact you at such a young age, in our peer
Hmm.
group. But then you think about it when you were in school and you knew this one kid that, was not coming to school as often, things of that nature. So it's cancer is something that's very much has been impactful, or at least had some kind of intrusion uh,
Mhm.
into our livelihood yearly. I mean, I would say decade to decade, whether it's a kid in school or a great grandfather years later, because I've had a lot of my grandmother's brothers died of cancer. Like, I mean, it's I don't want to say it's the routine, but it was very norm on my one side of the family, and then it was um, high blood and hypertension on the other side.
Mhm.
So it's just as in knowing that as you grow and hearing it early on in life. And I remember being thankful as I reflect, having a mother that said, "Hey, every year you have to go to the doctor. I
Yeah.
want you to see. I just want to see. Make
Yeah.
sure that you're developing correctly because I don't know because I've never grown as a young boy."
Mm. Wow. I'm going to chew on that for a second. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but as we talk about
Um,
our you said breast cancer awareness, just like some of the stories. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. Um, or where I remember like being as you start to grow up and it don't really hit you initially, like it hit around you. Like you can
mhm.
hear, like as I mentioned before, a great grandfather or a great uncle or something like that. Something like someone like them that pass away, but then all of a sudden you're raising money. I remember the whole, the pink, because as young as when I was a toddler, well, I want to say toddler, when I was up to somebody's knee, uh, um,
Way to describe it.
yeah, pink wasn't the thing. It was one of those things. They just losing weight. One of those because you didn't know because a lot of times people weren't going to the doctor. They weren't, making sure, things are taken care of. And so just even as someone in my age who's in my 40s, um, making sure that I get ready for my prostate examination at the age of 45. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then the earlier the better. And if you have any prostate issues that are in your family prior to, as in someone's passed away or someone's been diagnosed with prostate cancer, then you need to be tested even before the age of 45.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's because cancer is anything. It can be brain cancer, throat cancer. I mean, it's bone cancer. So I mean, cancer just runs the gamut. So just the overall awareness, you know. But yeah, yeah, I don't want to belabor and just keep going. But it's I can go into like specific, you know, journeys. Yourself?
Um, I know the story, and Demita didn't make it public. I think she shared on social media about like her diagnosis and how she found out and everything, but she allowed us to have a front row seat for her journey, and I can say that that was very eye-opening for me. It was cuz I've had a grandmother and my father, so my paternal grandmother and my father both died from cancer or complications due to cancer, and they hid it. It was so private. It was so private.
Because when
Um,
you got sick during that era, and it was terminal,
Yeah,
and being
yeah,
terminal because of maybe you didn't have the money for care, maybe you didn't have, maybe you waited to the last minute for care. Like there's other factors why it's real terminal.
yeah.
So,
So, being there with Demita during her surgery and just seeing how she was still going on, like she was working and all of that. I just I saw a different side of my friend. Um she is we joke, we say that she is the voice of reason. She is the one that keeps us together, keeps us in line. She's very focused, she's very planned. We've joked about the April babies versus the January babies. And it was that feeling of God is in total control of this. You can't fix this. He's going to make it better because you believe that he's going to make it better. And just keeping that mindset, those prayers coming like this, like, Lord, we know that you can fix this. We know that you can change this. So I her strength, her courageousness just through that whole journey. Because we know it's not over. You still have to go back, and once you've been diagnosed, you still have to go for your follow ups. And of course, the further away that you get from your diagnosis, the time that the less time that you have to go into the doctor's office. But and we were celebrating a milestone birthday, and I don't think not once she complained. Not once. And so that was like my front row seat to faith, reminded of faith and strength.
hmm hmm and it's amazing, and I applaud you for sharing. I wanted to dive in so, everybody, because, we have new listeners and things of that nature all the time. And so that's, Demeter's your best friend.
Hmm.
So, I mean, everybody may not know, but just to be able to share that journey, I thank you for sharing that journey. But then also being able to see her impact of her diagnosis and her journey and how it impacts others.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, and whether it is a great outcome or it is a dim outcome, because there's other stories. And it's crazy because we mentioned the family, and I would say Tracy Burton. Understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Which is a cousin of hers. You
Yeah.
understand? And to know that Demita had to go through that, knowing that I've had a cousin that did not. You know, uh, um, so it's just amazing to be able to have those experiences, but how collectively the community gets together.
Wait,
You know,
Tracy Brooks.
pardon me.
Brooks, you said Burden.
Tracy Brooks.
Yeah.
Tracy.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
No, we know a Tracy Bird. We do know a Tracy Bird, but yeah, Tracy Brooks.
Yeah. Miss
Okay.
Tracy
So
from the
thank
courthouse.
you.
Miss Tracy from the
Yeah,
courthouse. If you know, you know.
yeah.
You know, you know.
If
So
you
sorry.
know,
Yeah.
you know. Ooh.
Miss Tracy to the
Okay.
courthouse. Rest her soul. Rest her soul.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
That I might I might go there for when we start getting a little light is to recap what happened at Tracy's funeral.
Oh man, that was it was something else, but it was and it actually is actually a good segue because before we get into it about
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the community. Like we were just a little bit about, we shared our stories, of Demita and Miss Tracy, but how their stories impact the community. and
Mm,
and they made sure that their journey was shared with their community
yeah.
because they didn't have to. And I want to dive in a little bit with you, as in, how do you feel? Because you mentioned you shared with your grandfather, correct?
Mhm.
You mentioned earlier
No,
grandfather.
my
What?
grandmother. My
Grandmother,
grandmother.
sorry.
Yeah.
Grandmother. You mentioned earlier you said did not share her
Mm,
diagnosis.
mm-mm.
Now, do you feel that that was uh, selfish, or do you feel like it was HIPAA? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know those are like two. If one would say, like, man, those are two different extremes. But personally, I do have an opportunity to do this journey by myself. However, in learning, because I don't think that we really grasp the by ourselves after we leave,
Mm.
or really value who we are after we leave. Because, i.e., you're her granddaughter. It's like, man, we didn't really have a. So, what's your opinion?
So for me, for I was 12 when my grandmother died. So I almost like I had a kid staying at a kid's place almost. Um so I didn't really I think I was more confused and, to be honest with you, a little jealous because everyone around me still had four grandparents. Um And if you know, you know, the dynamic just between like both sides of my family, like my mom's mom was a pistol and my dad's mom was she was very gentle, um she was to herself, she didn't mind staying home. She was very much a homebody. She just loved for family to come over or to go visit family, but she was pretty much a homebody. And I can remember thinking like, why her? Like I see all these other people in the street, these mean people in the street, like why her? Why didn't she share with me that she was sick? Why didn't I know? And then seeing my own father, how he, and I would say react instead of responded, because he didn't handle it well. I've talked
Mm,
about on the show before how after my grandmother died, my dad just chose to block out everything that was attached to her, that was close to her. Even dates like her birthday. I was her birthday present, so I was born the day after her birthday. I was supposed to be born on her birthday, but came a little late. Surprise, I still do. um I he My birthdays, he didn't acknowledge. Like I would have to have my siblings like, hey, call dad and tell him that it's my birthday, like remind him. When I finally asked him, like, "Hey, why do you always forget my birthday?" and he finally admitted that everything that was attached to your grandmother, I chose to forget. And then I look at his own journey is that
wow.
he didn't tell, he never came out of his mouth, never. And I've taken him for a colonoscopy and everything. Never. I remember he was still under the influence because you have to drink that. They said that yucky formula in order to do the procedure.
My
And
mom told me about it like
oh
years ago. It's crazy because I did the whole you pick them up and they the most groggiest person you ever met. Just,
yes, I
you like,
was
is this
there.
my people?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so what did they say? What did they
Right,
say?
right,
Where
right,
we going? So,
right,
all
right.
right, okay. So I dropped him off, and I believe I went to the pharmacy to get his medication, and I came right back. And I remember him being in the doorway and him saying, "Did they say I have cancer?" I said, "It just happened. Like I just just 2 hours ago, I just picked you up and dropped you off." So. We
Gotcha.
would know this fast. He said, but did they say I have cancer? No, but I also don't have access to your chart. So whatever's in your chart is between you and the doctor, but
Hmm.
they didn't say anything to me. And then I said, Dad, no, like, sheesh. I didn't know. How
But
many
you
times you
know,
gonna ask me?
because the thing they don't remember. They don't
Yeah,
remember because
he was
they're
like,
under
I
there. Yeah,
don't
that's the
remember.
only thing that matters, right? That's what he was. That
Yeah, he was like,
consciously, subconsciously, I should say.
yeah,
That's
he
all
was
that
like,
matters.
I can't lay back down until you tell me that
Yeah.
they said I don't have cancer. So I was like, no, you don't have it. So you got to think that was probably early 2000s, maybe. And so he must have been diagnosed. Well, I know his first visit in the hospital was a couple months after my accident in 2010. And I feel like clockwork, every year he was in the hospital at the same time because the cancer had started attacking different organs like kidneys
Damn.
and all of that.
Damn.
But I didn't hear anyone say that he had cancer until I went to a doctor's appointment with him the day after Christmas 2012. The doctor said, and I can tell you where we were. We went to the urologist. It's the old movie theater in St. Joe. It used to be the discounted movie theater. I was
I
like,
remember that place.
you
I
know,
remember.
if you
Yeah.
know, you know, in St.
Cedarwood.
Joseph,
Over there
Michigan.
by Cedarwood.
Yeah, yeah. So
Cedarwood
now
Medical Center.
that's a Corwell building, so that's where his doctor was. And I remember us being in that room, and I can even remember the fish tank and all of that because I was like, oh my gosh, he got little Nemos just floating around, not knowing what I was about to walk into. So we get in there, and the doctor says, Mr. Williams, your cancer has spread to your femur bone.
Mm.
I'm standing there, I'm sitting there like, you have cancer? And he just looking off into the just in the days. I'm like, okay, because I came home for Christmas that year, and he was not walking. He was on crutches. So I was like, okay, so what's going on? So that was December 26, 2012. He was gone February 13th of 2013. So like 6 weeks later.
Yeah, that was quick.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So of course, in hindsight, you start thinking about the conversations you had. What clues did we miss? And I hear more and more people say, like, man, there were clues, but we were just not looking for them. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's I don't know. I don't know. Like when they say like in the first 30, I've been watching a lot of
yeah.
and they say, well, your goal is to put the puzzle piece together. And I would say that's their advantage versus you not knowing something's gonna happen 48 hours before.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you would have knew, but it's not much that you can do, but because the only thing that you would really want to do is know sooner
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
see if there's a method of prevention, but there's no guarantee of a method of prevention. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
is one thing that my brother said just replays in his mind over and over and over again is when my dad said when he actually took my dad to the doctor, and the doctor said, why didn't you come back when I diagnosed you? Like, I could have cured you back then. And my brother was like, you knew years ago? And he said, yeah, Mr. Williams wanted to do the holistic route. He wanted to do herbs and everything. Like, he was really into Dr. Oz, and I got a whole nother feeling about Dr. Oz, especially now.
The one
And
that ran for a governor of Pennsylvania? Okay.
was watching the show faithfully because I think a couple times he talked about prostate cancer, and not knowing even then, when he was in North Carolina shortly after my accident, he was saying that there was an episode of Dr. Oz that's coming on today. I got to make it home so we can watch it. It was not that episode. I remember we stayed up to 3 o'clock in the morning to get the replay, and it was not the same. episode. So I don't know if he ever found it, but that was
Well,
just
yeah,
something.
that's one of those. That was one of those little red herrings right there. When he was like,
Yeah.
"I want to stay up to 3 o'clock." Why the hell you want to stay up to 3 o'clock?
Yeah,
Oh
to
my
3 o'clock. And
God!
I was there with them. Like I was like, what are they talking about this episode? He said, how to prevent prostate cancer. I remember just bandaged up, kind of like I am now. I mean, this isn't bandaged up, but I'm just trying to make sure that my curls lay down. So, um, yeah, I was on meds and trying to figure out like what the heck is like why are you itching to watch this? I
Oh
know
no!
that he had been keeping a whole file cabinet of every resource he could gather about prostate cancer.
Oh, Carmen San Diego over there was out of commission. That's what was going on. found
And
found
what?
the found the weakest link at the right time,
Ugh,
man. Kind of like, yeah.
it
I'm
was
sorry.
bad.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. No, no.
So yeah. So when I think about these different survivor stories and just how it has rocked quite a few people's lives, you just can't um yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, look, it'll take a lot out of you. It'll take a lot
Mhm.
out of you. But one thing that we did, what we were talking about earlier, is how it does give an opportunity to unite. You know, whether it is in funeral or if it is in triumph. Because one thing I do like, and I've seen it more and more, as we say, we get a little older, seen it more and more as in once an individual is deemed cancer free, they get an opportunity to ring the bell. I think that
Yeah,
is a great like showing.
yeah,
I almost see it every day throughout my timeline on Facebook. There always somebody's ringing a bell, and it's just like I just saw one of my friends from college. Her mom or aunt was ringing the bell, and I was like, I don't think it's her because we had an eight, so you just never know, and then it could be
yeah.
someone with their kid.
Mhm.
Like we're at that point where you get a generation below you. You got your generation. You got two in front of you. It's a lot of individuals. So, but just to see the joy, the triumph, the I accomplish. You know,
Yeah.
um, I like the I accomplished, but even then, it's like, what's the next journey?
Mhm.
One that I didn't mention. Shout out to Trina Milton, I think is her.
Yes, 94. My sister's
Uh,
classmate, 94.
she's another person that we know collectively. Actually, her daughter was in a program that I used to work with. Um, in youth development,
Mhm.
but she's another person that I've seen multiple times that's dealt with cancer diagnosis and has stayed steadfast. And uniquely, we are bonded because she's a parent of an only kid and I'm an only kid, and that's our bond. You know what I'm saying? So I always look out, for a daughter because she's the only kid. I'm an only kid. So yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, her journey. I just seen something that she posted maybe a week ago. Just talking, and celebrating breast cancer awareness.
Mhm. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. I just want to briefly reflect on the power of storytelling, and we wouldn't be able to really see a lot of these stories if people weren't courageous enough to share them, especially on social media. Some of these people we may have lost contact with, or you probably just because of the algorithm, you don't see them in your feed anymore, and then that pops up, and it's like, "Whoa, wow, that's what's been going on."
Well, you will have a story of a story. You don't
Yeah,
even know the person,
yeah,
so
yeah, that too. So, I just want to applaud you all for
yeah.
even in the midst of this journey of this cancer journey, you are still showing up and just sharing your story with others. That hopefully it will lead to early detection and just place to find to a place where hope lives. So, We're going to move on to the next sectione. That's not even a word, but I'm going to act like it is. And Jeffrey, I want you to kick this off with I want you to share a story. You ready? Share a story from child.
Man,
Share a story from childhood or young adulthood where you witnessed or learned what strength looks like before you had words for it.
oh man, that's crazy. I don't want to say before I had words for it, because
You always have
um, yeah. I mean, because the first thing you want to say as a parent, looking at your mom, things of that nature. But what I really want to drill into, or at least share the story of, because we were talking about cancer awareness.
to.
But the first time that I saw a story of seeing an ailment that you couldn't solve, it wasn't a cold, it wasn't the flu, it wasn't the pink eye, it wasn't a sore throat, it was dementia. Um,
Mm.
Dementia is
Mm-hmm.
next level.
Yeah.
Um, as a kid, you think that your memories will always be there. You'll
Mm.
never forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? I
Yeah.
prided myself
Mm.
as a kid growing up. I remember everything. Look,
Say
like I know, we remember phone numbers.
nine
Come
two
on
six
now.
nine 9264151. I want to say someone just made that their status not too long ago, asking which number is this.
Look, my grandma number was 616-925-8435. I
Woo!
don't even care who number that is.
Right,
But
because I'm
I'm
gonna
just
rattle off
telling you.
mine. Yes.
Come on now, look, because we don't even have 616 area code no more.
Mm. 616-925-5523.
Come on
And
now.
that phone number stayed with that house until the house was no longer in the family. So I'm gonna say since the 50s to 2013.
So you mean to tell me when they first got that phone, they would have to pick it up and say, "Operator, call this number."
Yes. Yes, that's how long that number has been with that house.
That's crazy. Look, I was watching a random show. I was watching Sanford and Son, and they were picking up a phone saying "operator," and I'm thinking now we just pick up the phone, dial a number, and hit send.
That's it.
That things have changed, boy. Things have changed, and that's in our kinda our lifetime. I was gonna say kinda because I don't remember, you know.
I remember the first when we went from the is it the rotary phone
I remember the rotary. Yeah,
to the push button when my grandparents had a speaker phone. And if you know, you know, I to this day don't let it be some buttons somewhere. I'm going to push them because I've always loved pushing buttons.
because you
Always.
couldn't. It was new. It was
Yes.
new. It was new.
So
Look, and you
only
had to have
number.
a long. You had to have a long phone cord because
Yes.
they gonna be in there cooking
It was great.
and trying to. Yeah,
It
yeah.
was great. So I would call the time lady 269. Well, it was 616-926-4151. I would call her. I mean, wear that phone out. Don't let it be close to the top of the hour. I'm calling the time lady because I want to hear her say precisely or exactly. I wanted to hear that at the top of the hour.
That's
What I
crazy.
did not understand is that call waiting was not a thing. And so I was tying up the phone line. And my granddad was like, I'm going to be waiting for a call. And I'm like, I've been on the phone all afternoon calling the time lady. If anybody called, I'm sure they didn't get through. Or if the line was beeping, I just hung up. Like maybe it'll keep ringing. I don't know.
It
I
was
don't know
somebody
how
else's
much.
thing too.
Uh, I'm trying to think how many whoopings should I have gotten for how many phone calls he missed from me just playing on the phone because I just want to press buttons. It's neither here nor there. I am okay and I survived it. But yeah, that number has been, yeah, over 60 years. That number was with that house.
Mm-mm.
1070 East Main Street. Yes. So,
Look, I let you have that number. I was like, I'm just this is storytelling. Even look, we had something going, but I was like, we could always shelf. We'll get back to it. See, that's the joy of this. See, please do tell. See, people kind of be like, well, we kind of lost. No, no, no. Do not lose that thought. We coming back. We already know
oh
about the
my
picture. We
God.
already know. We coming back. All
I
right.
was like, I totally hijacked your story, but
You
okay.
are just fine. You just fine. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. The people are saying, please do tell. Hey, come on now. Come on. Come on. But no, when you asked about a story of strength, dementia,
Hmm.
hands down, as in I had an opportunity of seeing it with my great grandmother, and then I seen it with my grandmother, and then even before that, I remember hearing them saying, um, the person just went crazy. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? As in you like uh 5, 6 years old, the person just went crazy. And then that person, and I've always liked being around older people,
Hmm.
maybe just being around raised by a grandmother. But older people got something to say, and there's no filter, and that's fine. You understand? They're in a class of their own. you know, but it gave me an opportunity to see in between, like, and maybe they're conscious, maybe it's like a subconscious way, things of that nature. So they would lower their inhibitions around you. And
Hmm.
so just seeing dementia and what it can do, because if you take it seriously, as in what an individual is saying to you, one could want to stray away, not want to be a part of, because typically, in what I've seen in my experience, my 3 or 4 experience of dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's is they're very critical of only the people that are around them, which are typically their caregivers.
Hmm.
Realistically, um, most people don't like the people that are around them, whether it's your hometown or whether it's black on blacks or like most people say, "Oh, I don't like these people." Da, da, da. Well, those are the only people that you're around. Like of course you would see certain things. You understand what I'm saying? So, anyway, but dementia and its impact, powerful. I had an opportunity to learn through dementia about Catholicism, because a lot of times it's they go back into a state of wanting to teach because everybody's teaching them new things. As
Hmm.
in, hey, this is a new phase in your life. So now they want to expend a lot of what they know, and they don't want to be told of what's going on. So it's a tender care moment. I really appreciate, even when I used to go to the nursing home and visit, when we used to go Christmas caroling with the youth in the nursing home, sometimes just listening to a story, of someone in their life, and you can think to yourself, man, how do I solve something? Go sit with somebody, and they'll solve it for you, and you just never know.
That is so true.
You just never know. Just like on Simpleman, you know. So yeah, I would say that would my my great grandmother, and then the transition to my grandmother, of just seeing um a family, because you said a person, I would say a family that had to learn how to deal with, how to live with, not deal with, because it's not a dealing. It's not like it's a bargain. It's there. A family of how to um, how to comfort your person as they go through Alzheimer's or dementia, where they're just losing their whereabouts. I see it with
Mhm.
Bruce Willis. That's a big one.
Yeah, yeah,
Bruce
yeah.
Willis. I
Yeah.
don't, Bruce Willis, not lethal. Not what is it?
Was it Die Hard or
Die Hards.
yeah,
Die Hard. Die Hard 3 with Samuel L. is one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? It's no way that now he can't speak.
yeah,
So that's what one with a naive mind would say. So
that's a good
that's
one.
what get my when you say a story of strength.
Yeah.
Dementia's big. Dementia's big. Somebody that knows you, and then all of a sudden you walk in the room and they're not joking. They look at you and say, "I don't know you, and if you don't get out of here, I'll kill you." And they've known to put some on your hide.
Yeah.
So you almost want to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, dementia is huge for me.
Mhm.
Huge, huge.
That's a good one. That's a good one. My paternal grandfather was Alzheimer's, and to see that decline, it was like, what is this? So you got my grandmother, cancer, and then my grandfather, Alzheimer's, and what he had strokes back to back. That's what took him out of here. And this was after my grandmother died, like 3 years after she died. So yeah, it's very difficult to see that change of, or as my sister say, to see them not as sharp as what you're used to.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the hard one. That's
Yeah,
the one to do it for me.
yeah, yeah,
Is the sharpness, and it's crazy because around my family, I want to make sure that I'm sharp, uh, because if you mess with this pencil, you already know.
yeah. Come on.
But no, you want to make sure that you arm with your people.
Yeah,
You know, but to see the decline is sobering.
yeah.
I don't mind, no matter who it is. To see that person cannot do or is not able as they used to it's something else. It's something else.
Whew. So for culture check, I did talk about earlier a little bit about Strong Women of Faith, breast cancer support group that is located in Ben Harbor, Michigan. So, for our quick culture check, we want to talk about how the Black community shows up for one another during illness through food trains, prayer chains, or just simply being present. And there's one beautiful thing that even during COVID, that Strong Women of Faith were and still continue to do, is they do the support trains. So they will literally get in a line. They will meet somewhere, and they have the addresses and the women that they're going to honor, and they will show up at their house with just showering them with love.
Oh wow. Wow.
And I remember one year, I think I had nominated a classmate because I was just like, my goodness, I think we were early 30s at that time when she was diagnosed. And I was like, my God, she has breast cancer? So I remember Mrs. Bertha had asked for some nominations, like, do you know anybody? And I had put her name out there because I just thought it was just like in a time where you are really literally in the fight for your life. These women are
How
packing
can
up.
you show up for me?
Yeah, how can you show up? And they continue to do it. So not just the conference that
Wow.
happens once a year. It's they're doing it year round with the groups, with the meetings. You're able to attend meetings, and I've been, I would say, honored to speak at one of them because I was able to be in the room with um most of my village, like all of our former teachers and everything that was in there. And one of the people that I will never forget was in there, and I know when I saw her, I just woo, it was like I forgot that I was there to speak to them. Everybody in the room crying. Mrs. Olivia James,
Oh
who
wow.
just died a couple weeks ago.
Rest in peace.
Part of my, yes, part of my village, my church, same age as her son, so definitely grew up with her son Aaron, and seeing her in that room did everything for me. So that group is powerful. They continue to show up. They're strong in numbers. I mean, they're strong women of faith. So, yeah, I just the way that that group models how you're supposed to show up for someone during a journey is absolutely beautiful. So for that culture check, I just wanted to just quick throw it out there. And if Jeffrey knows of any other support groups or any stories that he wants to share, you can definitely share them. But I know I wanted to put that out there because I see the impact that they continue to make, and just continue to support them for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. I
So
had,
are you?
and like I said before, I didn't. I'm gonna reiterate. I had an opportunity to be a part of that organization, Strong Women's of Faith, 2 years in a row. Had an opportunity of being a part with young women that came to volunteer and here for that weekend. They actually they my job was to get the youth, and they took care of their housing for the weekend.
Mm,
Like, so it is one of those things, as in it wasn't expensive. But what I will say, if you are in support of Strong Women of Faith, please give.
yes,
Giving Tuesday is coming up in November. Give
it
to Strong
is.
Women of Faith.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a good opportunity for our, because most it's Strong Women of Faith, so it's for women. However, our girls grow into women, and even if it don't impact them, it's going to, indirectly, whether you have a kid or a sister or a mother. I mean, you got to remember, like, they have more touch points. So I would tell anyone, make sure that you support the Strong Women of Faith.
Who is emailing you?
It's crazy, the work we do. The work never ends. Look, I just saw that one. It made me end my whole conversation. It's, especially when you asked them to do it earlier, but because, that's a whole nother thing.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's getting done. At least it's getting done.
Uh-huh. Okay, so it's time for foolishness files.
Oh boy, that's a good transition right there. With that, who's emailing you?
Mm, who? If you all even understood what I was saying, you know what movie that come from. Was that from Nutty Professor?
No, you tell us. You the one said
It's, that's for the after show. And if you know, you
it.
know, live after show over there on Facebook. We might even try YouTube. You just never know. But if you're not following Jeffrey Booker on Facebook, you need to, because that after show, it's a time.
I've been present.
Okay.
And that's crazy. We going to Foolishness Files. The Cubs are playing right now. It's crazy. So we're in the middle of taping, and I am upset I'm missing the Cubs game, but
Okay, I'm
it's
trying to
okay.
wrap it up.
You good. You good. You good. You good. You good. Shout out to the Cubs. That's why the Cubs had his own today. Shout out to the Cubs, y'all.
But he's still drinking out of the 49ers cup. So just know that the two go together.
Come on now,
In
Cubs
Jeffrey's
49ers fan. If you know, you know. Let's go.
Okay. Because this is the color that I'm wearing tonight is not a phase. So it's not a phase. He is dedicated to the Cubs and the 49ers.
Come on
So
now.
let's get
That's
back to the foolishness files because it's about to get real foolish.
right.
A funny family story. A funny family story from a hospital visit, community fundraiser, or how elders doctor everything with ginger ale. Ginger ale.
It's funny that you mentioned about the ginger ale thing. We're not a family of ginger ales, actually. How about that? Yeah, we're not a family of ginger ale. I want to say the first time that I ever had ginger ale, I may have been over 18.
It was in a cocktail.
No, no,
Oh.
I don't even think then, because I don't know. Like we never did ginger ale. My
Hmm.
grandma, we grew up on 7 Up. How about that? Yeah,
So we're of the same generation because that's what we grew up on was you
Seven
just go
Up.
get you a can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup and some 7 Up and sat
And some
down.
7 Up. You sat down, lay
Oh, and
down.
the saltine crackers.
Come on now. You gotta have a little salt. You gotta have a little
Mm.
salt. Yeah.
Well, I was
Yeah.
just over there eating crackers and the 7 Up. My dad was like, I need your ass to eat some of that broth. My mama too. You, that's the only way you're gonna get better. I was like, well, these crackers is working. It's
You know
crackers in
what's
the
crazy?
7.
You know what's crazy? That I'm a broth guy. Actually, as I done got older, yeah, I like
Yeah, as I got older.
I'll bust out some chicken noodle soup just because I don't want to go in the kitchen and really cook something. Let me get in that can and let me just throw it in the little pot.
No
And
way.
yeah, yes, I'll just eat some chicken noodle soup. I know I'm gonna get some broth, which is gonna be good for me. And give me 2 cans, and then 2 cans and a little bit of water. 5 minutes, you done. And 5 minutes too long because then it's too hot. Yeah, because I just want a quick meal. I just needed something quick. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to go in there and go do what my grandma used to do. You know what I'm saying? Where you walk in the house and all only thing you want to do is sit down because you know a good meal is coming.
Because they done had three, four sides and couple protein. It's like, oh, you did this today?
No, but they did it like while you was sitting there talking to me.
Yes. I'm like,
Yeah, like look, I try now. I'm like, it's got to be in the prep. Like they set us up. They were prepping all day and waited till we came there. Like, oh, I ain't got nothing. The water was already warm. You know what I'm saying? They had that water warm all day already. I'm telling you,
I
because
said,
it
how
takes
are
forever
greens?
to cook now.
It's 11 a.m. I came over here at 11 a.m. and how are there already greens on the stove?
They got up at 5:30 and said somebody's coming through.
Or she used to
Well,
say, y'all better call me on Saturday and put your name in the pot.
you better get a name for a plate.
That's it. Cause if you come over there, she gonna be like, I don't know, I don't know if you got it. I don't know.
Correct.
You ain't put your name in
Correct.
the pot.
Correct.
She did have some pretty good one liners. She did. She did. All right.
Don't be like that.
Are you ready for rapid fire?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay. So I'm gonna just read all of them, and then we just go back and forth, of course. A
Mhm.
song that instantly uplifts you.
For those of you that think that gospel music has gone too far.
I was definitely
You
gonna
think
go
we
there.
got too radical with our message? That's the one that does it for me. And I don't want to be cliche and go right to the church song, but church songs are uplifting, and they
Oh,
should be. Yeah, So yeah, and when I hear Kurt Franklin, for those of you that think that gospel music has gone too far, yeah, I'm
see,
in. I'm
see,
gone.
mine is smile. Even though I hurt the eye, smile. It's still Kirk Franklin.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Hey, just because I was a little out of the block slow, like I had gum on my shoe.
Go away.
Yeah,
Done.
I wasn't a big smile. By that time, everybody
Yeah.
was trying to be a Christian.
Ah,
No, I'm
all
joking.
right,
I'm joking.
next one.
I'm
I'm gonna
joking.
just
I'm
go to the
joking.
next
I'm
because it's
joking.
rapid fire. I'm gonna just go to the
I'm joking.
next.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Who's one woman that inspires you?
One woman that inspires me.
Remember, this
Women,
is rapid fire.
Wilma Rudolph.
Ooh.
Yeah, first person, first female that I ever did a report on years ago. I didn't know Wilma Rudolph had polio and actually could not walk for a while. And actually, they had built like I don't want to say stilts, but it's bad braces, and you're in a poor area. But she was, steadfast, and her mom was, her people was on her, and it stuck with me. And then she
Mm.
went on to win two or three gold medals at the Olympics. And so Wilma Rudolph, actually, it's first person come to mind was Wilma Rudolph. My mom and I actually worked through that report together. I had to be like third, fourth grade, third, fourth grade.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yourself?
I'm gonna go with Zora Neale Hurston.
Mm, good one. Their eyes
Um,
were watching God.
yeah, writer,
That
professor.
that pops out.
Yeah, she her connections to North Carolina Central University. Once I got there, I was like, Zora was marching on this campus. I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place.
You
Just
know
badass. Like woo.
what was amazing about Zora Neale Hurston's book, Their Eyes Were Watching God? I had an opportunity to teach at the local community college and kind of talk about this, the experience of that book. We actually read it
Mm-hmm.
and actually went through it. And I like her three phases of the three people that she married in that book. I don't know if you get an opportunity to read Their Eyes Are Watching God, and you can actually watch the movie. I wouldn't. I'm not saying it's a bad movie.
Just read the book. Read or
It's just
listen to the book.
different. They're both. Watch the movie, read the book, because the movie had uh Wesley Snipes and
Sanaa Lathan.
Lathan.
Mm-hmm.
They were great, but it wasn't the book. I had read
No.
the book, and yeah, I really like the book because Janie, right, from the book.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay, all right. I won't even get. But anyway, read it. Their eyes were watching God. It was great. It's a great book. I like the three stories in it. It explained a lot. It's a really good book. So
Now I'm about to go to whatever the not Kindle, but because I ain't trying to get on no money, no plug.
Audible.
But, yeah, them. So I'm probably gonna go and buy it.
Audible be giving them if you
Credits.
subscribe to Audible, come on, come
That's what
on.
I'm
I
talking
just
about.
bought a book. I just bought a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And hopefully it ain't on the banned book list, but let it
it
ride.
is. It probably is. It probably is.
Okay, all right. I gotta
You
remember
gotta,
rapid
you gotta
fire,
get
rapid
it.
fire, rapid fire.
You gotta get it in your library.
I might have it. Come to think of it,
See.
I'll be back. But yeah, I'll let you all know what's in my library. I might even take a picture and post it on social media because that way you can see it. And I'm Ronika Ronnika Williams on Instagram, so I may post it in my story. So be looking
Look, the
out.
crazy part about I was in this sidebar. I know we're in rapid fire sidebar. I was in a storage, and I was thinking like, do I throw these books away? Because people don't really read like manual books anymore. So, do you allow them to take up space? Do you pay for that space, or so?
I have
Anyway,
Uncle Tom's Cabin in my library.
that's a classic. That's a classic. I
Do you
remember
remember
that one.
okay? I was finna go down that road. I was like, we had to read it in
Yeah.
elementary school. Um,
Hmm.
okay. One act of kindness that stuck with you.
Since a kid.
Yeah.
Mm.
Want me to go?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've had plenty, but this one, I'm gonna go with the first thing that came to my mind. When I lived in Houston, around the time that my dad was declining, I was broke. Like broke. Shout out to Kim, Kendra, Edwards, Waters, um, and their cousin Curtis Williams, which is ironically is the same name as my uncle, my dad's brother. um, I had no money, like none, and living with them, and it was just a whole. whole thing of how I even ended up there and how I was there for, I think, a little bit, roughly 6 months. When my mom told me that I needed to come home, that same when I talked about my dad, learning about my dad's diagnosis, she said, you need to come home. You need to come home. And her best friend's daughter called me and said, she says, everything okay? Like, I just was checking on you. Are you coming home? I said, I don't have the money to come home. I know they're telling me I need to come home, but I don't have the money to come home. She said, I'm going to buy your plane ticket.
Mm.
Like, when I say I had barely nothing, like, all I had was the money to pay rent, and it was one of those older homes in Houston, so it's not like I had any central air or heat or anything. So it was like a furnace that needed to be lit, and my accident already happened, so I wasn't really dealing with lighters, and you want me to kerosene all of it. I was just like, it's this is a nightmare. I
A
was in my
lot
bedroom with
going
a
on.
space, yeah, I was in my room with a space heater, um uh a air mattress, and she's calling me saying she's finna send me home for Christmas. If she wouldn't have done that, like, maybe I could have called another family member to do that, but she did that for me. She did that so I can get home to see my dad before he true like when he before he all the way declined, like before hospice. So I will never forget that, ever. Ever. Like, when I say that was one of my lowest points, and I didn't really know which way to go. I probably could have called one of y'all, like, hey, can somebody pull together 20? No, when she heard, like, oh, she's not
We
coming
got it.
home, let me
Yeah.
call her. So yeah, I'll never forget that. So did I give
What
you
was the
enough
question
time?
again? Damn, I don't
One act of kindness
know.
that stuck with you.
One act of kindness that stuck with me. I remember graduating from college and thought I was high shit and working for a Fortune 500 company, at least what I would say during that period of time. And then I was going to transition to one city to the next. Well, I just so happened being from a small city, you transition from one city to the next. Yeah, like that's big. From one
Hmm.
house to the next in the same city is huge. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you going from one city to the next. Well, I was doing that, and so I decided I was going to move to the city. I found out, oh, this is an apartment place. I had a friend told me about this apartment place. I went over to her house. I knew that it was her community, this complex. I'm good. Well, the day that I was supposed to move, that was a Thursday night. I'll never forget it. Thursday night. That Friday, I was supposed to move in. I took all of my stuff from one city and packed it into my old school. If you know, you know. 85 Buick, deuce and a quarter. We packed everything we had, every paper, every pair of drawers, every shoes. We had it all in there. Even our shorts
Mhm.
was in there. Jean shorts, denim. You know. So came through. I mean, that car was packed to the brim. I was supposed to go in here and sign the paperwork. I strategically got off from work. I was supposed to get off at work at 4:30. I got off an hour and a half early. I worked late early in the week so I can get off early, sign the paperwork at 3 o'clock. My mom was like, "Hey, you need some help?" I was like, "No, I'm good because we've already went through this whole process of student loans and they've
Mm,
already denied you, and
yeah.
I'm not trying to miss the opportunity. My friend that put me on, let me see. I know it's years later, but I'm a grown man. I'm trying to see. So I get there. As soon as I get there, we done ran your credit, and you don't have enough shillings. You don't have enough. So they were like, you need to have somebody to co-sign for you. All right, co-sign. Well, it was student loans in my name today because I have co-signer. So from that standpoint, I was like, I told her, I said, that's not an option. And so I remember going outside, and I was like, "Damn, do I call my mama?" And I knew if I called my mama, she would figure it out. She would figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was my turn to figure it out.
Mm.
So I ain't even call her. I figured it out. I said, "Hey, I got a car full of clothes."
Hmm.
I had a car full of clothes. My friend knows that I'm moving. I know that I don't have to move in. I didn't. I don't have to. I don't have to show them where I moved in on that day. Even though this friend is very invasive and very job and very much going,
Yeah.
well, what you need, what you got, I got you, da da da
Yeah.
da. Whatever. I ain't trying to hear that. But I just finally I went and told her. I was like, hey, it is, it fell through. But they'll figure it out by Monday or Tuesday. She, without hesitation, said, you can crash in my house. I'll never forget it. Like, what? I can crash at your house. Like, as an only kid, I've never thought about even crashing at somebody else's house. Like, I've
Yeah.
never thought about crashing at somebody else's house, like ever. Still to this day, I still, like it. Even when I come visit you, I be like, can I stay at y'all? Like,
Yeah.
supposed to ask,
Why
like,
we like this? Yeah.
I'm only kid. You just like I'm supposed to figure that shit out. But anyway, she opened her doors, and I had an opportunity to stay with her. Maybe, I want to say almost a week. Almost a week. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because, of course, I want to be strong and say I did it before in a day or so. But I think it was almost a week. So shout out to Angel Clark Creighton, who, one of my friends, my classmate, definitely. And I will definitely tag her in this story because if it wasn't for her, she had already became a teacher, established herself, and I told her this a year and a half before because she was the person that made me think like she was like, we're talking about a little bit of death. Her sister had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
They had found her sister murdered actually,
Yeah.
and I went and seen her the evening of, and I remember her saying to me, because she was in bad shape, and she said, "Well, I got to get myself together." And I said, "No, you can take your time." She said, "No." She said, "I graduate in less than a month, so I got to get myself together."
Mm-hmm.
And when she said that, I was like, "We graduated from high school together." And I'm a clean 2 years from graduating from college. So here it is, years later, a year and a half later, and she was there to pick me up. So an act of kindness, hands down. She was my angel, as she would say.
Mm.
She be all giddy now. She heard
Yeah.
this, but yeah, she definitely um, took me in for that week, and I knew I had to. It wasn't just about showing the muscle; it was about putting the real muscle together to put a plan together. So
And
I know
that
that's rapid fire, but that was
no, that's how you end a rapid fire.
yeah.
Yes, that was a really good one. Thank you. All right, y'all. Can you believe it? We are about to wrap up the show. I want you to
About that time already.
it's already. I know, it's crazy. I want to continue to honor the names of survivors. Is someone that is very near and dear to us that we've also worked with and known the family for forever is Konika. Konika is currently in her fight with breast cancer. She's going through all the treatments right now. So we are thinking of her. She's still
Shout
full
out
of
to the
jokes
Marshall
and laughs. Yeah, shout out to the Marshall family who've done so
family.
much for the city of Ben Harbor and continue to do so much for the city of Ben Harbor. Um, and Katrina Price, who has joined our after show, and she has completed all of her treatments, and she was actually honored. She was one of the young ladies that was honored during the Strong Women of Faith conference. So shout out to her, and I also want to shout out Chrissy Very that posted this today. That was extremely eye opening, and I just want to read it to you what she says. She said, "The part of the cancer journey most don't understand. Financially, us cancer warriors are in the thick of it. We have to either still work through treatments, as she did, or go on, I think it's short-term disability. Yeah, short-term disability that only pays 60% while having 100% bills, not to mention those who have children. Insurance helps but doesn't cover it all. This is for a visit I hadn't even had yet, and this is close to over almost $5,000."
Mm, mm,
And she said, "This is for a visit I haven't even had yet. Being sick is costly. We are in the fight of our life, physically and financially. This isn't a dry bag, but a close up of what we or I deal with. So when you see a donate for cancer sign, do it. Every little bit helps." So seeing that and hearing that just blew my mind. And thank you for your transparency and even letting us in on your journey. So we support you. There's so many others that are continuing with the fight, and we just want to be able to support you, to celebrate you. And yeah, as Jeffrey was saying, Giving Tuesday is coming up, so a great organization to support for breast cancer is Strong Women of Faith. And if you need any contacts for that, we are definitely able to point you in the right direction. All right. So, Jeffrey, what do you have coming up on the docket, or how can the people even find you?
You can find me either on Facebook, Jeffrey JeffreyBooker, or preferably you can find me on Instagram at Mr. Fantastic, MrFantastic World, at Mr. Fantastic World, WORLD. At well, yeah, just at Mr. Fantastic World. Look, you start going through the whole soliloquy, but
Yeah.
at Mr. Fantastic World, you can DM me, go from there, or just comment, whether it's on Facebook or on our YouTube. But please do tell. Obviously, we here with you.
Mhm.
We wanted to share our stories this week when it talks about awareness. We storytellers, so you know.
And you know where to find your girl? If you don't, I'm here to tell you. I'm Ronika, Ronnika Williams on Instagram, and I am Ronika Williams on Facebook if you want to join me there. And of course, if you are watching us, you see us on YouTube, and we are Please Do Tell on YouTube. And if you are an audio listener, you can find us wherever you listen to your podcast, especially on Apple and Spotify. So if you are communicating, leave us a review, leave us a comment. I actually had someone call me through a shout out to Robert, call me through Facebook Messenger and say, "Hey, I am an avid listener. This is what I would like to see on the show." So we love to get your feedback. But
Come on.
it was really beautiful that it was like, you know what? No, I got to pick up the phone and call her and tell her that I am
A
enjoying the
rarity.
show. Yeah, that's very rare. So I thought that was I definitely had to step away from my desk. Like, no, you've totally just made my day. Thank you. I think it was Tuesday. Maybe it was Tuesday. I feel like it was a long day for me. It's been a long week. So you all so stay tuned. We'll be talking about a lot of other things this month, but of course focusing on awareness, because we also have domestic violence, and it's still National Archives Month. So it's a whole story that I can share with you all about what happened even this week when it comes to family videos, because my village is attached to so many other villages. So I was able to share a video from my dad's archive that is in a private area on YouTube that already has like 15 views. So clearly that link is getting around the neighborhood, and they're enjoying seeing some footage of their family from the early 90s, that a lot of them are now ancestors, including my father, who was recording the whole thing. It's really, I'm gonna have to send that link to Jeffrey. It's a good kiki.
Okay.
It's not for kids. So one of the poems that is recited by my granddad's best friend shall not yeah, it's not for kids. So I'm just so you all, with this episode of the podcast, I just want to be sure to remind everyone that we're here and our stories matter, but especially for those that are fighting or surviving, we see you, we love you, and your story matters. So until next time, this is the Please Do Tell podcast. I'm your homegirl Ronika, and I'm with,
Jeffrey.
and we will see you all next time. I'll holla. You said you were gonna have a. I thought you said you were gonna have another one for the next time. So you gotta come up with a saying. Holla, y'all.